A lot of free-to-play players are about to have a really difficult decision to make. We finally have brand new information for Wuthering Waves version 3.6, and it doesn't just reveal both new character combat roles, we now have their expected launch teams, the rerun banners they're expected to arrive with, and the complete projected banner lineups for the entire patch. So the problem is, if these leaks are accurate, version 3.6 could easily become one of the most expensive updates we've seen, because if you're missing the character these new DPS units are designed to play with, your Asterites are about to disappear very quickly. Take it with a grain of salt because this is just beta information and leaked information. This might change before release date. So let's go through everything we know. Let's start with the newly revealed combat roles. First up is Flying Sword Lady. She's currently listed as Arrow main DPS built around the Tune Strain mechanic. And then we have Lantern Dude. He's listed as a fusion main DPS that focuses on heavy attack damage, but more importantly, he's also said to provide damage amplification. That's actually brand new information, so before this, most people didn't expect damage amplification to be part of his kit, so this gives us a much clearer picture of where Kuro is taking him. Right away, we can already see these two characters are being designed for completely different playstyles. Flying Sword Lady revolves around Tune Strain, and Lantern Dude revolves around heavy attack. Starting with Sword Lady, according to the latest information, her expected premium team is her herself as the main DPS, Denia as sub DPS, and Mornye as the support. This lineup feels exactly like what you expect. The entire team appears to revolve around Tune Strain. Sword Lady handles the main damage, Denia adds additional damage and utility, and Mornye fills the support role. And here's why this is important. If the banner leaks later in this video end up being accurate, Kuro is essentially giving players Sword Lady's premium team immediately through reruns. Now let's move on to Lantern Dude. His expected team is currently listed as him, Iuno, and Shorekeeper. But once again, this lineup also makes a lot of sense since Lantern Dude focuses on heavy attack damage. Iuno immediately becomes one of the stronger partners because of her heavy attack buffs through her outro skill. Then Shorekeeper fills the general support slot. Although personally, I think this position could end up being fairly flexible depending on your account. It doesn't necessarily have to be Shorekeeper, but the core pairing here appears to be Lantern Dude together with Iuno. So now we have a much clearer direction for both new characters, but here's where things start getting scary, especially for free-to-play players, because the expected version 3.6 banner lineup has also been revealed, and if this ends up being true, the pull pressure is going to be insane. So let's go through it. Phase 1 starts with Sword Lady, and alongside her, the expected rerun banners are Denia and Mornye, which conveniently are also the exact two characters currently expected to be part of her best team, and this fits Kuro's usual pattern. They've done this before by pairing stronger teammates alongside new release. We're also reaching the point where many version 3.3 characters are naturally due for reruns. Denia is already approaching rerun territory. Hyuki is also getting close, although they could easily save her for later because of how popular she is. Meanwhile, Mornye is expected to return because she's one of Sword Lady's stronger supports. So instead of making players wait several patches before completing her premium team, Kuro could be putting everything into the same banner cycle. Great news if you're missing those characters, not so great for your Astrite count. Then we move on into phase 2. The new character here is Lantern Dude, and alongside him, the rerun banners are expected to be Iuno and Sigrika. Iuno is probably the least surprising rerun here based on everything we've seen so far. She appears to be Lantern Dude's strongest teammate, so bringing her back during this banner almost feels expected. Sigrika is a little different. She doesn't appear to have direct synergy with Lantern Dude, but she's definitely overdue for a rerun at this point, making her a very reasonable addition to phase 2. And this is why version 3.6 could become such a difficult patch for free-to-play players, because you're not just deciding whether to pull for Sword Lady or Lantern Dude, you're probably also deciding between Denia, Mornye, Iuno, and Sigrika, potentially all within the same update. We still need to wait for the official 3.6 livestream before treating any of this as confirmed, but based on the latest information, this is what the patch currently looks like. So before wrapping up, let's quickly go through the value of every character. Sword Lady. She's the brand new Arrow main DPS built around Tune Strain and will most certainly be the biggest attraction of the update. Denia already has a strong synergy with Tune Strain mechanic while providing solid damage together with team damage amplification. Mornye is still one of the strongest support characters in the game. Moving into phase 2, we have the Lantern Dude. If you're looking for a fusion heavy attack main DPS, this is the character you'll be pulling for, alongside with Iuno and Sigrika. So that's everything we currently know regarding the latest 3.6 information. We now have the expected combat roles, the projected launch teams, and their full banner lineup currently being ported. Now, I want to hear from you. Which character are you pulling in version 3.6? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the future Wuthering Waves updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.